聽所有嘅人去所見。
Good afternoon, everyone.
各位下晝好。
Thank you for joining us. I'm Julie Kirschbaum, the SFMTA Director of Transportation. Hi, how's your vote?
多謝你參加我哋今晚嘅特別嘅活動。我嘅名叫 Julia Kirschbaum。
Public art in our stations is important, not only for its aesthetic beauty, but because it helps draw out identity of the space, it helps in the understanding of the historical and cultural significance of our neighborhoods, and it builds connection between our visitors, our riders, and the surrounding community.
我哋嘅車站做呢啲公共嘅藝術咧係好重要㗎，唔係單單係佢哋美感，仲有同啲公眾嘅連結，仲有一啲文化背後嘅意義，亦仲有咧嗰啲公共人嚟到我哋呢度咧，可以同我哋有啲連結。
The artwork we are celebrating today by Tomie, Arai. Arai is part of a two-part installation, and it's titled Arrival. And we have been waiting for its arrival for so long, and we are thrilled to be here today.
我哋今日喺呢度慶祝新緊嗰個Tomie Arai 嘅藝術作品，佢又叫 Arrival， 又叫做到來。佢係有個部分裝置之一，我哋等咗好耐啦呢個項目。
The work illustrates the life and the history of the area surrounding the station through large-scale images translated into architectural glass elements.
呢個項目咧，當我啲乘客嚟到呢個車站附近嘅時候咧，就係喺 Stockton 同 Washington 街呢邊，佢喺個對邊嘅欄杆就會睇到呢個大牆，佢睇到充滿活力同文化嘅當地嘅影相。
Customers that come up to the station are going to get to see beautiful and vibrant images, contemporary images of Chinatown and this rich culture.
當嗰啲乘客嚟到附近嘅時候咧，佢哋就會睇到好多充滿活力嘅我哋唐人街嘅情況。
This is a two-part piece. So what we have surrounding the station is ready today, and then we are working on the connecting piece at the platform level.
今日咧，我哋俾你睇到嘅係第一個部分，我哋已經完成嘅，仲有一個第二部分將來會出現。
At the platform level will be 25-foot high walls at each end of the platform, and that work will be installed later this year.
喺月台嗰邊咧，我哋有兩個差唔多25尺嘅喺個牆面嘅面板，應該今年嘅年底會做出嚟。
Thank you to our incredible partners who helped us to shape this story reflected in the artwork, to the SF Arts Commission for leading this effort for us, to Public Works on the installation.
我要多謝我哋所有嘅社區嘅合作嘅伙伴，佢哋幫助我哋塑造一個反映我哋文化藝術嘅事情故事。仲有呢，我哋三藩市嘅藝術委員會令到呢種工作，同埋三藩市嘅公共工程公司，佢哋確保我哋嘅安裝好順利。
And for the incredible vision of the artist who's going to be shaping transit rides for decades to come.
而且呢啲會俾我哋帶嚟我哋社區好多嘅活力同大家。
Before I wrap up, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Hanzo, the Director of Communication and Public Affairs from Mayor Daniel Leary's office, who's joining us today, along with the chair of the SFMTA board, Janitor.
在我講話結束之前呢，我會多謝我哋嘅市長 Daniel Lui， 佢公司嘅公共事務總監韓珠，佢今日抽空嚟參加我哋嘅會議。
And now it is my pleasure to welcome up Ralph Remington, Director of Cultural Affairs, to share a bit more about Arai.
而家我哋歡迎個 Ralphia， 佢同我哋講一下更多關於呢個 Arai 嘅事情。
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ralph Remington, Director of Cultural Affairs at the San Francisco Arts Commission. And with the completion of Phase 1 of Arrival by Tomie Arai here at Chinatown-Rose Pack Station, the often untold and overlooked stories of Asian American contributions to San Francisco will now help beautify this dynamic and resilient neighborhood. We are proud to see this site-specific work, one that is reflective of the surrounding community, come to life and serve as a living archive for future generations to come. Artworks for the Central Subway Public Art Program were commissioned by the Arts Commission in partnership with SFMTA and made possible through the city's 2% for Art program, a 50-year-old program that ensures exceptional public artwork is integrated into publicly funded capital projects. Thank you to Chinese Culture Center and CCDC for their assistance with the outreach and development of these projects, as well as the artists and the robust team at SFMTA and Public Works for their partnership and collaboration in helping to install this monumental work. I'd like to take a brief moment to thank first of all, I'd like to thank Deborah Walker, our commissioner for the San Francisco Arts Commission, back right there. Thank you, Deborah, for coming today. And our amazing staff on this project, including Arai Davidian, Public Art Project Manager, Jackie Von Trescow, Senior Program Manager, and Mary Chu, Civic Art Collection and Public Art Program Director. I would also like to recognize and thank artist Tomie Arai, who could not be with us today, for her deep research and engagement with the community in the development of the design for this artwork. Chris Iverson at Moonshadow Glass for fabrication of the glass, and the artist team Winder Gibson Architects and Homes Engineering for design of the artwork. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Supervisor District 3, Danny Sauter. Thank you.
我哋大家歡迎 Danny Sauter 嚟同我哋講話。
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Danny Sauter, and I have the privilege of representing District 3 in City Hall, and I'm so happy to be with you this afternoon in the heart of our district in Chinatown.
我好開心今日嚟同大家見面，同人好嘅人。我嘅名咧叫 Danny Sauter， 今日同大家見面。
我係李義德，我係三藩市第十屆司暫時。And I think there is so much good news happening right now along all of the stations and neighborhoods of the Central Subway, and especially at this station. And today is really a next step forward in the next chapter of all the amazing activations at Rose Pack Chinatown Station. And something I love about this station is that there's so many elements and layers to it. You see it up above us, especially when the concourse is activated with events from our community partners, and you see it as you ride these long, deep elevators and escalators down. You see it with all the different layers of artwork. And today we're adding an entire new element and layer. And I think, of course, the beauty of artwork is that everyone sees things differently. But for me, as I've looked in the past week or two at this artwork on my trips to City Hall and my trips along the Central Subway, I love noticing something new every single time. There's sometimes when it is those spaces of children that stand out. There's other moments when it is those maps that stand out and how that relates to our transit lines and our geography of San Francisco. But to me, I think overall, what stands out is a core message of, as the name implies, arrival and immigration and being welcoming and being a beacon in San Francisco, especially in this neighborhood, to so many people who have come to San Francisco and have come to the United States of America to shape our city and to shape our neighborhood. And there's no time like this time to remember the importance of that, to remember the importance of embracing new ideas and embracing people to our city and country, because for many hundreds of years, they are exactly what has made our city special. I know that this has been an effort many years in the making, and there's so many people before me that made this possible, and I want to appreciate all of your work. We all wish that we had been here a little bit sooner, but things are coming together on the Central Subway, and we're now 2 months in a row of setting records for the highest ridership on record, 2 months in a row, and without our small closure this year for some repairs, we're up 15% on ridership on this line. There's a lot of good things happening. We want to get those kiosks open so we get retail and more life and activity in the Central Subway. And I want to appreciate everyone who's part of that effort. And I want to now introduce Kevin Lee, an engineer with our Department of Public Works. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kevin Lee. I am with Public Works, resident engineer during the construction phase of the glass art installation at San Francisco Chinatown-Rose Pack Station. I'd like to first thank the Chinatown community, the Chinatown Cultural Center, the Chinatown Community Development Center, and Gordon J. Lau's Elementary School for their patience as we worked on this project to showcase the rich culture and history of Asian Americans in the oldest Chinatown in the United States.
我想同大家講，我叫 Kevin 劉，我係呢度新繁市造地工程師，我負責唐人街白蘭盞呢個項目。而我而家我要同大家多謝一下參加我哋呢啲活動嘅幫助我哋嘅人手。
I'd like to also thank the artist Tomie Arai, San Francisco Arts Commission, San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, and the installation team of Public Works, MIK Construction, Homes Engineering, MC Meadows, Progress Glass, and Moon Shadow Glass for their strong partnership and collaborative spirit.
我要多謝唐人街嘅社區、唐人街文化中心、唐人街社區發展中心同哥頓路小學，仲有當時咧我哋辦呢個活動，佢哋嘅耐心。我哋可以展示我哋美國唐人最古老嘅唐人街嘅豐富嘅文化同歷史。我哋仲要多謝藝術家新幹苦光啦、藝術委員會啦，仲有新繁市嘅交通局同公共工程，仲有 MIK Construction 啦、Horace Engineering、MC Metals、Progress Glass and Moon Shadow Glass 佢哋嘅安裝團隊，因為佢哋嘅幫助咧，我哋可以有我哋嘅合作精神，我哋可以有佢哋嘅幫助。
This project was challenging from start to finish, but rewarding. Some of the challenges included working above the sidewalk at the entrance of the station and adjacent to the Muni bus stop in one of the densest parts of the city.
呢個項目咧，從頭至尾咧都充滿咗挑戰，但係我覺得好值得，因為咧佢喺我哋呢個都城市裏頭最密集嘅地區，就係呢個站嘅入口，同有 Muni 巴士嘅喺人行道呢度係一個好忙嘅區域。
In addition, installing glass and steel into an asymmetric structure and accommodating several important community events and festivals in January and February, such as the Chinese New Year Parade and Street Fair, as well as the NBA All-Star festivities and much more.
喺呢個地方裝呢個玻璃屏幕咧，其實仲有鋼材，其實有好多不對等嘅結構，所以咧又係1月同2月嘅時候，我哋有多種中國嗰啲社區活動，好似講街市啦，好似農曆嘅3年遊行啦，仲有 NBA 嗰啲繼續仲有啲活動，我哋都需要協調。
This project means a lot to me as well. I'm grateful to play a part in bringing this project to life. I attended Commodore Stockton Preschool across from Gordon J. Lau when I grew up in the neighborhoods of Nob Hill and Chinatown.
呢個項目對於我個人嚟講都係好有意義㗎，因為我以前咧係喺呢度附近讀書㗎。
I never imagined as a kid that the building that was previously here would be transformed into a transit station, and then as an adult contributing to the installation of a piece of art that will continue to carry on an important legacy of this wonderful community.
我細嘅時候咧，從冇諗過呢附近嘅建築有一日咧會變成呢度嘅終極站，而且咧作為有一個大人之後咧，我可以為呢個藝術工作付出奉獻，都係我覺得好難得嘅事情。
I believe my family members who were pioneer immigrants from the late 1800s would be very proud.
我覺得我哋屋企嘅人咧，佢哋係好早就移民過嚟㗎。我諗住佢哋會因為呢件事情覺得好自豪。
I hope this will inspire the next generation to continue preserving the culture and history of Chinatown. Thank you all for attending this celebration.
我希望呢件事情可以繼續鼓勵我哋嘅年輕人，下一代嘅人繼續去唐人街嘅文化去呢啲付出父母。
Thank you, and I will hand it over to Abby Chen, curator and head of contemporary art at the Asian Art Museum.
多謝你今日參加今日嘅活動。而家我哋歡迎亞洲藝術博物館，仲有當地藝術主管 Abby Chen 同我哋講話。
Thank you, Kevin. Well, my name's Abby. I came here with the title of curator and head of contemporary art at Asian Art Museum, but Chinatown is my home because my first art job is actually in Chinatown as the curator for the Chinese Culture Center, and that was 2006. That was the time that we already started the conversation about public art in Chinatown and the building of the Central Subway. I remember meeting Rose Pack, and I remember meeting so many community members and also meeting with San Francisco Arts Commission. And actually, public art was the reason that I feel very motivated and inspired to continue to work in Chinatown. Because at that time, when I sit in those panels and look at the finalists, there was always one or two Chinese names or Asian American names that as tokens. And they were there serving as tokens only. And of course, they never got the project. And by the time it got to the time when we're gonna build our Chinatown station, we advocated, we outreached, and I remember the Chinese Culture Center, the auditorium was full of people wanting to learn more about how that we're going to have our voice heard. And with all the tireless advocacy by the Chinese Culture Center, the Chinatown CDC, Chinese for Affirmative Action, Chinese Historical Society, and the community together, and I remember at the finalists for this Chinatown subway, we got the best bunch in this country. And Tomie rise to the top, and so was Ho Yumei. And I still remember Tomie's trip to Chinatown. She walked on every street. She talked to the merchants and she talked with the residents. And as we can see, our conversations and our convenings that we held with community members, these were still vivid in my mind. And we talked about what it means to face the future with confidence and also being anchored in the strengths of our past. And that spirit is exactly what Arrival captures. And as you can see, how Tomie talks about the portrait of a city, the portrait of a neighborhood, is actually the portrait of all of us. The way that how Tomie treated the material is making this portrait always shine through the light. And it reminds us that Chinatown is not just about history, it's our living American life. And for me, the journey really started long before the commission. This entire station was advocated starting 1989. And finally, after almost 50 years, that we're here. And Tomie was one of these advocates. Her selection, the work that she has created, it isn't just about public art installation. It's a testament of our collective dignity. Arrival honors not only those who came before us, but affirms that we're still here, arriving every day, and shaping this great city and this country's future. Thank you so much. And now I want to say a few words in Cantonese. So 各位街坊，我哋嘅好朋友，我哋各位嘅市政府嘅官員，其實咧呢一個中央地鐵咧係從1989年嘅時候，當我哋嗰個華埠嗰個高速公路嘅出口被取消之後，華埠係30-40年一直係希望我哋可以有我哋自己嘅地鐵站。頭先我聽到我哋嘅 supervisor 講係最高乘客嘅乘坐率，咁我覺得嗰個紀錄咧係好容易被打破嘅。咁尤其係依家我哋有 Tomie 嘅呢一個 artwork 喺度啦。咁之前當然大家已經睇到何耀梅嘅作品，但我想講嘅係2006年，當時我啱啱加入中華文化中心嗰陣時，當我響呢啲公共藝術嘅嗰啲評審嗰陣時咧。我哋其實係睇到好少華人或者亞裔嘅藝術家係入到圍嘅，而入到圍嗰啲咧其實都係象徵式嘅。嗰啲真正嘅公共藝術嘅作品咧，嗰啲偉人咧係唔會輪到佢哋嘅。咁所以我覺得係幾十年我哋全部個機構華埠嘅機構一齊嘅努力，咁係令到咧，當我哋係到咗去中央地鐵最後嘅嗰個評審階段嘅時候咧，我可以好自豪咁樣講，我哋嘅呢一紮嘅藝術家係作為呢個入圍嘅最後入圍嘅呢啲藝術家，係呢個國家最精彩嘅一群藝術家，而我哋華埠亦都攞到咗一啲最好嘅。而呢一個作品嘅名稱係叫做到來。咁到來咧係有好多唔同嘅意思，咁我淨係想好簡短咁樣講咧，就係200年前我哋到來咗呢個國家，而喺呢個地鐵站，我哋每日都到來緊，而我哋亦都會繼續喺呢度，呢個就係我哋嘅美國生活。多謝大家。Now I would like to pass on to the Executive Director of Chinese Culture Center, my dear friends and our partner in crime to make a lot of these public art possible, Jenny Leung.
Thank you so much, Abby. This is such a proud moment for Chinatown. And as Arrival debuts, we are so proud to say that Chinatown has truly some of the best artwork in the city, doesn't it? I want to thank the artist Tomie Arai for this stunning work, Arrival, and thank the city for its partnership with the city to arrive here. The Arts Commission, Ralph, and the entire team, especially Mary Chu, Jackie, Arai, and all of our community partners from Chinatown CDC, Kathy Lam, Tan Chow, Jade, Wu, and as of MTA, Lulu, and Jessie, that have made this possible. My name is Jenny Leung. I'm the Executive Director of the Chinese Culture Center. And as our center celebrates 60 years of uplifting underserved voices, we're so grateful to be part of this project and to be a leader that will shape our own narratives and stories. When we work together, the city and the community, we produce some of the best work. It has emotion, depth, relevance, connection to community. That's why it's so important for city projects to work collaboratively with the community. This was in such a long time coming, over a decade in the making with the Chinese Culture Center as an outreach and engagement partner to make sure that it's a stage as well. Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor. We want to make sure that there's an equitable process to tell the stories and uplift our artists. This project is one of the first projects that the community has an opportunity to shape art that is reflective, because these stories really matter. And when you come here to learn about the unique contributions of Chinatown, that matters to celebrate the city's diversity. And I remember Tomie Arai coming here to collect stories from the community and doing community workshops as she created this work over a decade ago. And it's so critical and important for us to support community-based artists that share and uplift community and immigrant stories. And our community is an immigrant community. And the story of Angel Island and immigration is on this work. And it's such an important time for us to take a stand and for artworks to reflect our communities during a time when there are attacks on immigrants. This work shows the best of our humanity, shows our diversity powerfully, and welcomes everyone to Chinatown. Thank you so much for being here, and we're so excited this work is finally here and arrived. I want to turn it back to Julie.
Thank you, Jenny, and to all our speakers. Thank you all for taking the time here to learn about this incredible work. I'm going to ask the speakers as well as the policymakers to join us in the corner so we can have a photo op, and really appreciate everybody that helped put together this event. Take care.